Hey folks, Coach Simmons here, and I want to ask you a question. Maybe it's just me, but you like how when news pops out that it gets swept under the rug, just goes away and no one talks about it because it doesn't fit a narrative, right? But this is an article that came out last year, October 23rd, 2023, from LendingTree.com. In said article, it talks about tuition costs rising, but colleges don't just make money off fees they charge their students, along with endowments for athletics. State schools depend on public funding from their states to meet operational costs. But according to the latest Lending Tree analysis, 24.6 of state schools operating in the red between 2017 and 2021. The last 5 fiscal years, the data was available. That percentage dipped to 20%. We're looking at solely 2021. Hmm. So what does that mean? Well, let me see. New York had the highest rate of state schools running a deficit. 24.6% of the state schools analyzed spent more money than they took in. New Mexico shifted to the top spot, looking at 2021 alone. 100%, or 6 of 6 state schools in New Mexico ran a deficit in 2021, followed by Hawaii, 66.7, or 2 of 3, New York, 52.6, Georgia, 52.6 as well. 6 states, however, ran a combined deficit over the 5 fiscal years analyzed. Mississippi was in the red by almost 7.6%, or $1.4 billion, followed by Connecticut at 842 for 45 million, New Mexico with 477, and New York at 1.2 billion. But here's the funny thing: that Mississippi number, as a state, they were in the red by 1.4 billion. Mississippi, Ole Miss, has operating revenues 5 years from 2017 to 2021 of 10,749,378,348, with a 5-year expenses rating of 12,556,365,323. It leaves them, in particular, a net negative of 1.806 or 1,806,977,975. So the other state schools, Mississippi, made money, but Ole Miss lost 1.8 billion. Why is this not being talked about? Like I said before, Mississippi has the highest combined debt, more than Connecticut, New Mexico, New York, Hawaii, Pennsylvania. There's no other school, no other state that has more combined debt than Mississippi. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a list of underfunded school lists of MSIs, if you will, minority serving institutions, such as 21 Asian American, Native American, Pacific Islander SIs, 21 of those, 3 PBIs, 2 HBCUs. I believe it's Mega Ever in New York, and I believe it also is, um, I check, I think it's Morgan State. I double check that. And one Native American, a Native American SNTI, and 2 Alaskan Native Hawaiian institutions. In fact, just to double check, just to make sure I'm not going crazy, you always want to check the HBCUs on this channel. So they count the CUNY Mega Everest College running a negative 52.8 million. That's the one they want to check. Count that as HBCU. Whether you want to or not, that's what they count. And looking at this a little bit deeper, the other HBCU on this list is, I'm sorry, not Morgan State, Bowie State, running a negative 2.463 million. Every other HBCU Every other HBCU is running in a positive or running equal. But it's just Mississippi itself, Ole Miss, running rebs, damn near running $2 billion in the negative. What's the narrative, people? We're sitting here looking back and wondering, we want to be equal, we want to have our stuff recognized. We sit here and point out all the negatives of what we're doing, blowing it up, but no one's mentioning the $2 billion gone at Ole Miss. Now, if you're in Mississippi, you may have heard about this. Maybe it's a big story locally. But nationally, we hear more about Prairie View getting doors kicked in once every 6-7 years when no one's there. We hear more about fake marriages and bull crap like that. But we don't hear anything about this. How can a school, a state-run school, lose $2 billion on the poorest state in the union and no one bats a damn eye? It seems like every school in Mississippi has some kind of let's call it a scandal. Well, every PWI does has a scandal. At the same time, the HBCUs are being threatened to be closed down. But they're the ones operating in the black. Get it? HBCU in the black. Because they can't come up with some crap like this. There's no way in hell Jackson, Alcorn, Tougaloo, Hill Valley, whoever you want to say, can show up with negative $2 billion. Hell, try to show up with negative $2 million. See what happens to you. We're being held to a standard beyond our approach. And we're constantly not understanding what I told you before. There is a thing called 5 steps to a slave. And I keep telling you that. People don't understand, but it is a very common issue. Came out in 1980. I'm sorry, I'm lying to you. Came out in 1850. In fact, an 1850 publication provided the slaveholders with the guidance on how to produce an ideal slave, maintain strict discipline, unconditional submission, create a sense of personal inferiority so that slaves know their place, instill fear, teach servants to take interest in their master's enterprise, and deprive access to education and recreation to ensure the slaves remain uneducated, helpless, and dependent. That is an article provided to slaveholders in 1850. And you're sitting here wondering about this. We are sitting here to believe that our schools are inferior because they have no money. When said schools, Ole Miss, are operating $2 billion in the hole, and they're still getting money to continue to operate in the negative. Maintain strict discipline, unconditional submission. People, all this shit comes together. Donald Trump and the Republican Congress literally stating if he has control of Congress and Senate, day one, they are canceling Department of Education, which cancels your FAFSA and your Pell Grant, which 75% of all HBCUs or MSI students receive. So you cannot afford to go to college anymore. We see what's going on with the straight high school to prison pipeline. You can't tell me the feds can decriminalize marijuana, but each state has their own individual rules. when marijuana was only made illegal because the DEA needed something to keep open. And they literally said, let's make marijuana illegal because Mexicans smoke it. Word for word, bar for bar. It's still fear. I'm not going to keep harping on Mississippi, but there is a thing right now going on, the Black MAGA movement, where everything black is bad. Black men talking about not voting for a black woman, or black women saying she's not black. Everything you do, everything you say is bad. Black men are evil, black women are ratchet. I don't care if you're Miss Huxtable, you're ratchet. I don't give a damn who you are. Every black male on this planet who makes any kind of, let's just call it, move to be an example, gets torn down. Teach servants take interest in the master's enterprise. What do you think? What do you think about that? How do you think about keep teach a servant to take interest in the master's enterprise? It's very simple, people. Very simple. Get you to like what I do. And you see what's going on. The multi-million dollars worth of equipment being put into these locker rooms for these kids. Kids passing through school without graduating because of the fact that, hey, you run that ball, boy, or pass that rock. And deprive access to education. We already talked about that with the whole Department of Education thing. And then you wonder what black jobs are. It's the reason why I did these videos, people. Like I say all the time, 1 view or 40 million views. If you've got this far, please share this video. Because I mean what I say. If you're looking at this, it comes down to very simple. They don't want you. They want your culture. They want your music. They want you to degrade your women so they can get them. As a person who drives Uber, I can tell you 100%, 1,000%, I make more money when there's a Republican convention going on in Austin. You want to know why? The strip clubs are full. I make more money when there's anything to do with conservatism in the city. You want to know why? The nude beach is full. The swingers clubs are full. The black restaurants are full. Minority restaurants are full. Not by us. Take away personal education, recreation, make them uneducated and helpless and dependent, make them a server. This is what is going on. So they'll operate in the negative all they want. The goal is not to make money at certain institutions. The goal is to keep your ass uneducated. The goal is to keep you dependent upon them. The goal is to keep you needing what they want to give you. That's why this didn't make the news. That's why this didn't make the news. I guarantee you. And you know what? I don't like calling out names. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to tell you something. When did this article come out? Around the same time Coach Prime was leaving. Oh, no, take it back. Around the same time Jackson State had to give up about $800 million or $800,000, whatever, just to leave the Southern Heritage Classic. When all that crap was going on last year about the Southern Heritage Classic, this is when this came out. Who got more coverage? Well, you know what? one view or 40 million views. Either way you look at it, I had to say it. It's Coach Simmons. I'm out.